Welcome back to Big Ideas, Integrated 1 Math. It's Algebra 1 class, and today we're doing 4.1. You can turn with me to page 91. We're going to be talking about writing equations in slope-intercept form. So this is one of the last days we're going to be doing slope-intercept form, but it's terribly important that you really understand slope-intercept form as we move on in this chapter and in the rest of this book. So if you remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And you remember that m equals the slope and that b equals the y-intercept. So keep that in mind. If you know the slope and the y-intercept, you can write a linear equation for any line. Okay? So we're going to be dealing with slope-intercept form today. So let's look at this and let's find out how can we write this linear equation in slope-intercept form. Well, first we're going to need the slope. And so let's go from our two known points. So here's a point, and what we're going to do is we're just going to draw a little triangle to a right triangle to our point. So from here we go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go up 4, and that's our y value. And then we go over 1, 2, 1, 2. We go over 2. So our slope is 4 over 2. Simplified, that's just 2. Now what's our y-intercept? Well, there's our y-intercept. It's where our line crosses the y-axis. So there's where our line crosses the y-axis. So we're at 0, negative 1. So our y-intercept is negative 1. So if I have y equals mx plus b, I plug in my m. So I get 4 over 2. Oops, I'm sorry, we simplified it to 2. So I'm going to simplify it to 2 for our mx plus our b value, which is negative 1. So y equals 2x plus a negative 1. I could simplify that to 2x minus 1. So y equals 2x minus 1. That's our linear equation for that line. So let's check out this one. I'm going to make a little triangle for this one. And so now our slope is going down, so it's negative 1, 2, 3, 4. So this slope this is a negative 4, and then this is a positive 1, 2, 3, 4, a positive 4. So our slope is negative 4 over 4. 4 over 4 is 1. A negative and a positive is a negative. So our slope is negative 1. Our y-intercept is right here. It's where the line crosses the y-axis. Y-intercept is 2. So if I have y equals mx plus b, my m is negative 1 plus my b is 2. So y equals negative 1x plus 2. When we're at negative 1, you can take out the 1, so we just have 1 times anything is 1. So we don't need the 1 there for it to be the same thing. So if you wrote negative 1x plus 2, that'd be correct. If you wrote negative x plus 2, that would be correct. Okay. Now you also know this is a positive slope. So we know that we're going to have a positive slope. This is a negative slope, so we know that we're going to have a negative slope value. So when I'm looking at it, look at this one. Positive or negative? Well, that's a negative slope. So I know that my slope is going to be negative. Now let's see what it is. Draw this line down, draw this line over. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's negative 4. So I go down 4, and then I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Positive 6. So that can be simplified. Divide both sides by 2. Negative 2 over 3. So my slope is negative 2 over 3. And where does it cross the y-intercept? Where does it cross the y-axis? Well, it crosses the y-axis right here at 0, 1. That's 0, 1. So our y-intercept is 1. Now, why do I keep writing mx plus b? Because I want that drilled in your head, that this is what I'm filling in this information. So my m value is right here. So I have negative 2 over 3x plus my b, which is right here, 1. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 1. Okay, last one on this page. All right, here we go. Our slope and our y-intercept. So our y-intercept first for this one. We see the line goes through 0, negative 2. So our y-intercept is negative 2. Let's say our slope, this is really close. So it goes up 1 over 2. So it goes up 1. So up 1. And then over 2, positive 2. So you have a slope of 1/2. So here, y equals mx plus b. I have y equals my slope, which is 1/2, plus my b value, which is negative 2. Don't get these mixed up. Don't add a 2. Make sure you're adding your b value. So if I simplify it, plus a negative 2 is the same as minus 2. So just make sure you understand how that step works and where you got that from. Okay, stop the video if you have any questions. And if not, go ahead and turn with me to page 98. No, I'm sorry, 99. Turn with me to page 99. And here we're going to write an equation in the point-slope form of one that passes through the given points and has the given slope. Now, I'm going to show you another way to find slope, which I think is very effective. I'm going to show you, excuse me, 2 more ways to find slope. But actually, I'll show you those down here, because these ones, they actually give us a point and the slope. So that's, oops, that's 4.2. Good heavens. Right here, 94. I'm sorry. Page 94. So we are on page 94. Page 94. So here we're going to write the equation. We have the slope and the y-intercept. So don't forget, this is the slope is 0, right? I've been writing m for slope. So y equals mx plus b. That's what we're going to do for each one of these. Actually, I'll do the even ones. So our slope is negative 1. So we have y equals negative 1x plus 0. Negative 1x plus 0. Well, I don't have to include the plus 0. And negative 1 is negative x. Excuse me. Alright, so give that a try. You have your slope and you have your y-intercept here. Here we go. I've got my slope, negative 3. My y-intercept is 7. So y equals mx plus b. This is my m value, so negative 3x plus 7. So really, if you understand this formula, just plugging these in, these ones can be quite easy. So this is my m value, my slope. So y equals mx plus b. So my slope is 1/3 x plus 2. Y equals 1/3 x plus 2. Alright, give those a try, see how you do. And now we're going to work on a couple. Write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form of these 6 lines. So, continuing on with the evens, I have a y-intercept of 0, and I have a slope. Let's make this triangle. Positive 1, 2, 3, 4. So I go up 4, and I go over 2. So I have a slope of 4 over 2, which is 2. So I have my y equals mx plus b. So I have y equals m is 2 plus 0. So y equals 2x. Right, because I don't need to include that 0. Alright, let's do a couple more. Here we have the slope. I know my y-intercept is 5. And my slope will go down over. So this is a negative, so I've got, oh, look, that's a 5. So that means that these are in 2. So this is 2, 4, 5. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I go negative 9, and then I go positive 1, 2, 3. Negative 9 over 3 is negative 3. Y equals mx plus b. My m value is negative 3. So y equals negative 3x plus 5. All right, next one. I have my y-intercept is 3. And my slope is negative 1, 2, 3. So I'm going down, so it's a negative 3 and then a positive 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 4. So y equals mx plus b. So my m value is negative 3/4 x plus 3. There it is. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a cool little trick for finding slope. Well, there's two ways we can find slope. So here we don't have our slope, and nor do we have a graph to count. We've just got 2 points. Now, one thing I could do is I could go on to Desmos. I can go on to Desmos, then go over here to my table. I can make a table like Zach showed us the other day, and I can plug in my points 2, 1, and 0, negative 7. And then I can make a line out of it. Oops. Make a line out of it. How do I make a line out of it? Oh boy, that's not going to go well. Okay, anyways, you can make a line out of this one by, okay. So let's go back to this guy. So you can make a line out of it. Actually, from this, even without a line, we can count. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 going up, 8 going up, and then we have 1, 2. We have 2 going over. So 8 going up, 2 going over. Oh, how did I cut that down? Eight up and 2 over. So for this one, we have a slope of a positive 8 over 2. So we have a slope of a 4. So I'm going to show you one other way. Well, 2 other ways. There is the slope formula. And if you remember, slope is the change in y over the change in x. We did that last in chapter 3. So this is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's your slope right there. So here we have an x and a y and an x and a y. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So if that's the easiest way to remember it, feel free. So here's y2. So I go negative 7 minus y1, which is 1. Then I go 0 minus 2, So now I have negative 8 over negative 2. So that's a negative over negative, so I get positive. So I get 8 over 2. 8 over 2 is 4. So I graphed it, and I got a slope of 4. I did my slope formula, and I got a slope of 4. Now let me show you one more way to do this. And that's in a table. If I have x and a y, I have 2, 1, 0, negative 7. My change here, going from 1 to negative 7, is subtracting 8. Hope you can see it in all this mess. 2 to 0, I'm subtracting 2. Subtracting 2. So I have my change in y is negative 8 over my change in x, which is negative 2. So I get 8 over 2, which is 4. The table method, the slope formula, and then the Desmos calculator. So there's your 3 methods. Make sure you know them and not just the Desmos calculator. Make sure you know one of these so that you can do these problems. All right, and we know this actually is our y-intercept. So b, so this is m, and then b equals negative 7. So if I have y equals mx plus b, my m is 4, and my b is negative 7. So y equals 4x minus 7. All right, let's check that out in a couple more. I'm going to do the table ones for these because I find that the easiest to follow. So I have 0, negative 5, negative 4, negative 1. So my change in y from negative 5 to negative 4 is negative 5 to negative 1, is a positive 4. 0 to negative 4 is a negative 4. So my change in y is 4. My change in x is negative 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. Negative and a positive is a negative. So my slope is negative 1. My y-intercept, well, here it gives me my y-intercept right here. My y-intercept is negative 5. So y equals mx plus b. So my m is negative 1 plus negative 5. So the 1 I don't need in there, right? Because 1 times anything is itself. So I have y equals negative x minus 5. Okay. For your homework, I'm going to want to see at least one table version finding slope and at least one formula for finding slope. So I'm going to want you to show me tomorrow one formula for slope and one table for slope. All right. Here goes table again because I find it very effective. How do I get from 3 to negative 5? I have to subtract 8. Minus 8. Sorry. How do I get from 3 to negative 5? I have to subtract 8. How do I get from 0 to 2? I have to add 2. So my slope is negative 8 over 2, which is negative 4. And then my y-intercept is 0, 3. So my y-intercept is 3. So y equals mx plus b. My m value is negative 4. And my b value is 3. Okay. If you have questions about that, please ask me. Pause the video and check it out. So you're going to be doing the odd ones. All right. Write a linear function f with the given values. So here's our values. F of negative 5 equals 5. So I'm just going to put this in a table because if you remember, this is just the y. I'm sorry. This is the x, and the answer is the y. So the function with negative 5 equals 5. So our end result is 5. And there we have negative 5. And then here we have what's the function if x is 0. X is 0. Our answer, our y value is 10. So there we have our table. So we can find our slope. Going from 5 to 10, that's a positive 5. Going from negative 5 to 0, that is also a positive 5. So my slope equals 5 over 5, which is 1. And my y-intercept, well here we have 0, 10. So that's my y-intercept, it's 10. So y equals 1x plus 10. My slope is 1, so 1x plus 10. So y equals x plus 10. If you wrote 1x plus 10, that's correct also. Alright, here we go. We're going to do another slope. We're going to do another table to find slope. 0, 10, and 7, negative 4. So this is minus 14. From 10 to a negative 4, I subtracted 14. And from 0 to 7, I added 7, positive 7. So my slope is negative 14 over 7. Negative 2. 14 divided by 7 is 2. Negative over positive is negative. And then my y-intercept is right here, 0, 10. There's my y-intercept. And look at that, I got another y-intercept of 10. So I have y equals, here's my m, negative 2x plus 10. Now this last one, you can do it in the table, but I'm going to use the formula this time, just to show you how to use the formula. So one point is 0, 16, and another point is 2, 8. So I have 8 minus 16, 2 minus 0. 8 minus 16 is negative 8, 2 minus 0 is 2. So I have negative 4. My slope equals negative 4. And my y-intercept, well, they've been really kind and they've given it to me each time. My y-intercept is 16. Y equals mx plus b. So y equals negative 4x plus 16. Y equals negative 4x plus 16. There you go. Alright, finish up numbers 1 through 24 and do whatever worksheets on the module. Thank you very much.